Welcome to Ghostlight Reviews Podcast.
I hope by now you are aware that this virus is attacking our body completely, and that includes our minds, our emotions, every bit as it does any other organ and system in the body. Healthcare workers, especially the ones on the front lines, they're feeling this more than most. Distress calls are up. We see it in the data. People are being killed from the mental and emotional toll. It just happened to one of our heroes this past Sunday, Dr. Lorna Breen. Now, the doctor treated COVID patients at New York Presbyterian Hospital. By all accounts, she was well respected, and by all accounts, she stepped up with the best.
Here is your vice president, who today was the only one at the Mayo Clinic seen not wearing a mask, touring COVID wards and testing facilities at a huge hospital, no mask. A short flight away from returning to the White House to come in contact with the most senior members of our government, no mask. Earlier today, the clinic posted that it has, quote, informed the vice president of the masking policy prior to his arrival today. That post was since taken down. Then came a statement that the masking policy had been shared with Pence's office. Note that the CDC issued guidelines recommending masks earlier this month. Also, please note Pence is the head of the coronavirus task force. Here's how Pence responded when questioned about his decision to defy the Mayo Clinic policy.
I'm tested for the coronavirus on a regular basis, and everyone who is around me is tested for the coronavirus. And when the CDC issued guidelines about wearing a mask, it was
some grim statistics out there, but we still hear signs of reopening in that economy.
It's an awful number of infections. It means the U.S. now has roughly a third of the world's official tally of 3.1 million cases and just under a quarter of the 216,000 people killed by the pathogen. The situation is appearing to improve in many parts. New York hospital admissions are falling, and Governor Andrew Cuomo has been laying out a blueprint on opening up rural parts of his state. Cuomo, though, saying it would be a miracle if New York City itself and areas next door reopen in 2 weeks' time. Now, that's something underlined by neighboring New Jersey. Deaths there from COVID-19 overtaking those in New York for the first time. And one of the biggest obstacles, Yvonne, facing the U.S. is the lack of testing. Experts warning that they're just doing a fraction of what is actually needed. Back to you.
And Rish, we've seen a lot of bad news, of course, from companies as they've reported their earnings, and many, of course, dropping guidance altogether. What sort of picture is this painting on the corporate front?
Leaders liken this struggle as a war, and in one way, I guess you could say they're right. Public borrowing likely to explode to levels not seen since the end of the Second World War. Taking the motor industry, it was suffering before all this. It's now in effect on a hospital gurney. Look at Ford overnight. The car maker warning of operating losses of more than $5 billion. That's $2 billion more than analysts were thinking. The virus is ravaging through huge swathes of the economy, and getting it back on its feet is going to take time and a lot more money as well. But don't forget, we've got those GDP figures coming out later today from the U.S.
Some things just go well together. Salt and pepper, peanut butter and jelly, French toast and room service, Hillary Clinton, and ignoring serious sex abuse allegations. During the 1990s, Hillary Clinton defended her husband in the face of them. In the 2000s, she was a close confidant of Harvey Weinstein's. Her husband, meanwhile, flew around on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. But in 2018, Hillary Clinton pivoted completely. Brett Kavanaugh, you'll remember, was accused that year without any evidence of being a sexual predator. And Hillary Clinton said his accuser had to be believed.
Look, I watched as much of her testimony as I could. I found her very credible. I found her willingness to say, I don't remember that, but I remember this, to be very convincing.
Well, you know, things change. The only constant is change, and the political calculations of these questions has changed completely all of a sudden. So Hillary Clinton has rediscovered the value of skepticism and due process. Why? 2 words, Tara Reid. That's a former Biden staffer who alleges that Biden sexually assaulted her. No, not sexually harassed, but assaulted physically. Today, Hillary Clinton didn't just endorse the man accused of that by a former staffer, Joe Biden. She gushed about Biden's character. Watch this.
Remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.